I came across one particular article on Sputnik, which I find it very interesting to talk about. So, according to Sputnik, Nigeria remains Africa's top petroleum producer ahead of Algeria. We all know that Algeria produces a lot of oil, but our West African brothers, Nigeria, is now taking the lead. And Nigeria has remained the top oil producer for some time now. According to the August report, Nigeria still remains the top oil producer. By the way, let me take this opportunity once again and thank all African 360 subscribers. If you have not yet subscribed to this platform, please do so. I've told you guys that I'm going to be consistent. I am going to release more videos on this particular platform, more than any platform. By the way, let's get into the details of this article. So let me read this. Sputnik posted this on their Telegram platform. The West African country, let me take it again. The West African country's crude oil production increased slightly in July, surpassing OPEC quota of 1.5 million barrels per day. By the way, I am not going to go into details of this. You see, when it comes to Nigeria, we all know that Nigeria produces a lot of oil. But the question is, how does this benefit the ordinary Nigerian youth? This is a question I have been wanting to ask for a very long time. How does this benefit the ordinary Nigerian youth? Nigeria had a problem when it comes to refinery. Dangote built a refinery for Nigeria, and the politicians in Nigeria are deliberately sabotaging this refinery. We are comfortable to carry oil from Africa and refine it in the white man's land. Go back, buy the oil, and come and sell it at a higher price. And somebody sits, an African, a Nigerian, sees that this is not right. So we have to build our own refinery. And he does that. He builds this refinery. And because the politicians are the very own people who import in this oil, decide to sabotage this whole Dangote refinery. Today, almost every country you go on earth, Nigerians are all over the place. Nigerians are building other countries. They are investing a lot of money into other countries except Nigeria. Today, Nigerians are targeted all over the world. Today, if you hold a Nigerian passport, it's more or less like you've committed a crime already. That is the reality. You can hate me as long as you want, but the reality is, when it comes to Nigeria, things are going bad. Just recently, I heard that Dubai has also decided to ban Nigerian passport. When you come to Ghana here currently, Ghanaians are fighting with Nigerians. When you go to Kenya, Nigerians are targeted. When you go to South Africa, Nigerians are being targeted all over the world. And I've said this before, that Nigerians, when it comes to business, these are smart people. Extremely smart. Some people are running out of Nigeria not because they are poor, but they don't just like the system of governance in Nigeria. A very rich, wealthy country like Nigeria, the people shouldn't be struggling, the people shouldn't be running up and down all over the place. Compare Algeria, compare Morocco to Nigeria. Yet, Nigeria is leading when it comes to oil production. Nigerian oil, or the Nigerians produce more oil, more than Dubai. But the whole of the UAE is developed on the basis of oil. But Nigeria produces a lot of oil, more than some of these countries, even in UAE. But because of greed, selfishness, Nigeria has remained backward for a very long time. How many of you knew this? That Nigeria remains the top oil producer in Africa. Even within Africa here, there are so many oil producing nations, who are behind Nigeria, yet they are doing better than Nigeria. You see, when sometimes I talk about this, some people are like, oh, Nigeria have the biggest economy. Look, divide the economy. Take the economy in general, divide it per GDP to individually. You realize that Nigerians even own the country. They owe. They don't own the country rather owns them. You realize that every Nigerian is in debt. You realize that Nigeria having the biggest economy means nothing, because Nigeria, they are making over 300 million. Over 200 to 300 million, something like that. I stand to be corrected. I think around 200 to 300 million. Yes. So if you have the biggest economy, it's nothing. Take this biggest economy, divide it individually. That is when you realize that it means nothing. It means you are still poor.